Getting the sickle mower going for spring. In the spring, I replaced all the blades new up to here. I actually had my hired hand do it up to about here. Then I actually bought new blades. Then I actually sharpened these last row. Instead of putting the new blades were $6 a piece. And I sharpened, so I'll see how that works. Probably not very well. And the other thing is, so the new blades are serrated on the top. This is the way they're supposed to be. That's not a new one, but anyway. And the internet blades you can get like this, serrated on the bottom, which isn't the right kind. But for one thing, they're cheaper, about $2 a piece. Or $3 maybe. For another thing, I could sharpen this edge easier than I could sharpen this. So when I went to sharpen this, I did the back side like that, which isn't what you're supposed to do. But when I went to sharpen this one, I was able to hit this side. And anyway, it's a test. Probably neither of them will work very good. That's usually how it is when you sharpen something. Especially when you do it, quick, like farming. So here's my sickle mower. Here's a bucket of salt. Still transitioning from the winter. The sickle mower. This is my greatest invention. This roller, I've got it on. Weighs several hundred pounds. You're probably looking for 400 or 500 pounds. It's pretty heavy, but it's not too hard to roll like this. And so part of it is in the winter I store it out of the way a little bit, and the other part is when I go to hook it up. If the tractor ain't exactly right, I can move it a little bit. I can move the implement a little bit. That's really helpful. In all my 3-point implements, I feel like the 3-point implement should not be as difficult to attach as it is. But I haven't figured out on my own how to help it. Except something like this, but I can't really do this for most of my implements are sitting out in the field on a block, not on wheels, and they're not on concrete. So I haven't figured out, but boy, just to be able to move it a little bit is really what you need for something. So now I go get the tractor, bring it in here. And then after I hook it to the tractor, I'll put the blade on, flip the thing down. I actually been having trouble with this tractor too, or had trouble, and the starter went out. Actually, I don't know. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. So I went to get a new starter, and I thought, first of all, I had trouble finding a farm track. And second of all, I thought, well, I can get a Ford 2000. Well, Ford 2000 didn't fit. There wasn't enough space in here. And this particular starter is kind of a new style. And they're selling this style for $150, $175. It doesn't have any, it doesn't have a connector on the other end, a bearing on the other end. It's just got a gear that shoots out all by itself. And then I had trouble with this. When I clamped it down nice and tight and it wouldn't go. Then I loosened it up a little, then it worked. So that's a problem. And oh, incidentally, this one I found, these guys are called Internet Tech or something. They charged me quite a bit more than $100 $75, but I don't know if that cheaper one would work or not, and I just hardly have time. See, this here is a second bearing, and the gear is here, and it slips out to here. This is the old one, the one I took off. But this new one, this isn't very big. A lot of the old Ford 2000, it has a big part here. Almost all your starters have a big part here, and it won't fit. And so that's that, I guess. But you want to be sure this gear is right, and the I don't know. I really don't know what all the deal is. But I haven't been running this tractor, and hopefully now it'll start. I don't know if I can tighten that up now and it'll work, or if I have to shim it, or what. Let's see, the key's in it. I think it's still a bit loose. It's not very loose, but maybe just a bit. Here's the I tightened it up, so let's see if it'll start now. I'll show you what the problem is with this 3-point hitch. So this pin's got to go, this pin has to go in here. Now now see, I need to move the mower that way. I can lift this up. See, there's a chain that keeps it from going out too far, which you want to have. And but see, if I wasn't able to move this implement, I'd have to keep going back and forth with the tractor until I get it in the right place. But let's see if I can move it while I'm still holding this camera. There. That's pretty close right there. Now, one other thing I do, these things will get you, snap your fingers. So now, see, I can lift that up, but it's still got to go, it's got to go this way a little bit. Or you'd have to back the tractor up a little more, which is really difficult. You know, to do those little increments is difficult. Oh, there it is, see? Now I'm going to get some light grease. I'm going to shut the camera off. I'm going to spray some light grease on it, see if I've got it. I don't have it here. Although maybe I'll put heavy grease on, since I probably leave this on for a long time. So anyway, and then I've got to hook this. This gets hooked up to here. This comes off of there. So this gets hooked up to here. This comes off. That hooks up to there, and then from there it goes to here. And then this hooks up down there, the PTO. So it ain't that, you know, what I just told you isn't really the hard part. The hard part is getting it lined up exact, 'cause it's got to be exactly right. If you can't move that implement. I put rubber gloves on. I'm going to slather the grease. So here's the thing it sits on, and you see I'll show you it's got feet, but the feet, the center of gravity, most of the weight is over here where these blocks are, and it'll be tipsy if you put on the feet. It'll just be on this one. So it sits on those blocks on this side and then the feet on the other side. I'll show you what I mean. So see, these feet are sort of symmetrical, lined up with that U, but the weight, most of the weight is over this way. So it rocks on that foot there if you use those feet. So it sits, when I sit on that thing, I sit over here. I'll tell you something else I did. I think it cuts too short. So I made this to extend the length here a little bit. And then I took this foot off to do something similar on the foot, but I didn't get it done. But you can kind of lift this end up with the tractor. So now I'll flip this down, and then hopefully I'll have room to get that. I don't know, I should move it somewhere else. See what it looks like when I flip it down. Oof. I think what I could do, I'll put a bucket under it to raise it up a little, then I'll be able to slide that blade in. Alright, just remembered something. I gotta take this end off. I put it back on, I guess, for storage. But this got to come off because it's got to slide in this way first. So I greased it all up. I've never seen any grease come out of that. I wish I had a gun or a system where it didn't leak out like that. But this is one where you can see it came out the way it's supposed to. But another thing is this bolt here, you got to put 90 foot-pounds on that bolt. It doesn't move, the bolt itself. You'd think it'd be a swivel, but it's not. One other thing I got to do now, I lift this up, and then I put these down and hook them there. I still don't fully understand how this thing works. Now this hay I can easily rake up and feed to the goat. Rake up and feed to the goats. It's long strands, 7-foot cut. I could just rake that up, load it up real fast. This is what I've been working with, and it's problematic. And they don't like it all beat up like that and mixed with. They'll be happy with this, although their favorite thing in the world is Johnson grass, which is not up yet. So I'm going to go ahead and feed the goats now, because they're going to be hungry. It's about lunchtime. It's past lunchtime. That's so much nicer than what I was giving them. It's been raining too, so it's been wet. Beat up by the lawnmower. That's better right there. Big boy wants some. You ready for lunch, big boy? I think they like it better like this. See, he's got grass in here, but he don't eat it. He likes me to cut it for him, I think. It's just as well as he don't eat this grass in here because it's going to have parasites on it. That's why I moved. I got a pasture over there. I'm letting it sit because it's full of parasites. I can even give these goats some because, like I say, they like it just because they don't have to, it's easier to eat it because they don't have to bite it off.